Welcome to Solar Study course. In previous lecture, we seen about the how solar has been manufactured, what are the types of solar module, and what are the certification required for the solar module design, and what is the STC datasheet, what is the NOCT datasheet, that and all we seen in last. So in this lecture, we will see how modules can be installed. Then also we will see what is called as a solar array. Welcome to lecture 13. Myself Karthikeyan. So what are the lecture outline? We will see. Here we will see the understanding of the types of solar panel and solar modules, solar arrays, and what is the shading effect and what is the bypass diode and hotspots and what is the mismatch in the solar cell and solar arrays, what is the effect of temperature on the solar cell, what is the thermal stretch, what are the defective in the solar module, and what are the methods to check the defects in the solar module, that and all see in this lecture. First of all, we will see the different types of solar panels. So we already discussed that the circular shape, the side is almost about circular. This is called monocrystalline solar cell. So same it is shown here. This is monocrystalline solar module. Then polycrystalline. This is shown here, polycrystalline solar module. Then thin film. It is almost looks like a polycrystalline. Then amorphous. It can be able to bend. Next. So here we come. So most of the module having either 60 cell or 70 cell with 3 bypass diode in it. So these 60 cell modules are designed for the residential application and 72 cell are used for the high energy power plant, and that power is used for hydraulic lift and that consumes much more power. So this 72 cell used basically for high power utility applications. So we already knows that what is the module lifetime. So manufacturer will give warranties about over the 25 years for this silicon based PV modules. Then we will see the modules, what and all it containing. So already discussed in last lecture. So we will see all the thing briefly. It containing the frame, front cover, encapsulant, solar cell matrix, nothing but connection of series cell, encapsulant at the back cover, and junction box. So same is applicable for the polycrystalline, multicrystalline, and PERC solar cell. That and all. Next thing here will come. How solar cells are connected together. Okay. See, in this one, here all the cells are connected in a series. So in this case, this is 72 cell module. So each cell containing zero point 0.6 volt. While connecting series, it produces more than 36.6 volt. That may be 38 to 40 volt we will get. So all this solar cell as added with the bypass diode. This diode is called as a bypass diode. So it containing the 3 bypass diode. So basically it containing 6 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this will make a 3 bypass diode. So starting terminal make it as a positive terminal, that end will be make it as a negative terminal. So basically each solar cell having two terminals. So in here for understanding purpose we make a single terminal. But generally each solar cell containing the two terminal. So all these solar module are compatible with the 12 volt battery, because after generating the electricity from the solar cell, it should be stored in a particular storage. This storage system is called as a battery. That battery capacity is 12 volt. So all the solar cell are designed such a way that whatever energies comes from solar, that will be stored in a 12-volt battery. If I want to store more energy, I want to connect a number of 12-volt battery. So if I suppose getting 48 volt, then I have to take four 12-volt batteries. Then operated temperature is 25 degrees Celsius and air mass is 1.5. Then what is the solar array? Okay, so series combination of solar cell makes solar module. Then series combination or parallel combination. So if I want to get a high current, I want to make a parallel connection. If I want to get a higher voltage, there will be series connection. So generally all the solar modules are connected in a series connection of the solar module is called as a solar array. Next, what is the solar array, what is the some temperature effect, and what will be the mismatch, we will see here. See, it containing the two cells, basically two modules also. So what will happen, both the cells are carrying same current. If current will be mismatches, it will take a standard low current. So suppose I am having one flowing 5 ampere, another is giving 3 ampere. So dominating is 5 ampere, 5 ampere is flows through in this series connection. Then what is the voltage? If I am getting the same current in the same cell, generally we are getting the same current, then voltage will add up. While adding series cell, we will get the series combination of the voltage. So V1 plus V2 plus V3. Then also we can see in the graph, see, this is for cell 1, this is for cell 2. After combining this one, we will get the total voltage either in x-axis, or why I have to choose in negative x-axis, because when one cell is emitting the voltage, another one will be the taking the voltage. This is just a symbol reverse. Actually both are producing the same voltage, so for calculation purpose I am just changing the axis. So we clearly see in this image, see, one cell producing the V2, another cell producing V1. So total voltage will be V1 plus V2, but both the current are same. So I will get the almost same current, but voltage will be add up. So same in this case also. See, one is voltage with the higher current, one voltage with the lower current. So finally in this case, I am actually, it should not be a same current, in between almost same as a small current, it will be dominated. So I will get the total voltage with the same amount of current present in the V2. So previously I told that higher current will be dominating, sorry for that one, the lower current will be dominating. So I will get the lower current in the entire circuit. So now here comes the bypass diode, why it is required. So suppose these are the solar panel are connected or solar cells, let's see, because bypass diode containing in a solar module, so number of solar cells are containing series. So when shading will occur, this will completely blocked. Then what happened, when light is coming to in this direction, negative to positive, because of shading it can't take this path. So then it should be balance this system. So that's why we want to put a anti-parallel diode. This is also called as a bypass diode. I will design the solar panel in order to know about the anti-parallel diode. Let's see now. These are the two panel or cell, because both are containing the diode. Okay, now let's consider solar panel. So this is negative terminal, this is positive, this is negative, this is positive. So one diode is connected across it, so another diode like this is positive, this is negative, this is positive, this is negative, because negative terminal is connected to the positive terminal of diode. Suppose there will be a cloud comes here. Okay, it blocks certain amount of the solar cell. Now due to cloud, it blocks this much of the solar cell. So now it not able to conduct the electricity. But what happened? There are so many solar panel are connected like this, or cells are connected seriously like this. They all are generating current, but if it won't work, it will block the path. So that's why what I want to do, I want to give alternate path. So what it will happen when this solar panel will won't work because of cloudy or any shading. If trees comes here, that tree shade is come to this one, it won't able to produce electricity. So that time it will balance the current by flowing through this anti-parallel diode. Because we know that diode is conduct only in one direction. So when it is not a cloudy movement, the potential difference of this voltage is higher than this diode, so it will take this path. When it is not able to work, this diode starts conducting in this way. Suppose cloud is come in here also, cloud or any shading happen in this module also, again it will take in this path. So it will maintaining same voltage across the terminal. So current flowing like this and maintaining the same voltage. So this is the main purpose of anti-parallel diode. Suppose in some cases there will be a diode present after the anti-parallel diode. Why? Because in, let's see, some cases there may be chances of due to high shading there will be a reverse current flowing through in this direction. So in order to prevent this reverse current, there may be a one blocking current will be there. So generally solar panel containing three anti-parallel diode. Okay, this diode present in the junction box, and one or two, basically two blocking diode it contain. Okay, that is depending on the manufacturer how they want to place, either it is inside the cell or outside the cell, they will do that. So basically it containing one anti-parallel diode and one blocking diode for the one single solar cell. For module it containing the three anti-parallel diode and two blocking diodes, or maybe three also sometime. So in this image you can clearly see that how current path will taking through this anti-parallel diode or bypass diode. See in this image you can see clearly when cloud is occurring, when current I want to flowing like this, so current will takes in this path, okay, through this diode you can see here. So when solar rays will be incidenting, it will produce like this. Now it is shaded, so I can't go through this solar cell, so it will take this path. Then again it will generate current, this will add it up, this is complete the circuit. That is the main motive of placing bypass diode. Now we will see the hotspot in the solar cell. What is hotspot? It is nothing but hot area in the solar cell. How we will get the hot solar area? So suppose in this image you can see there may be some crack or any defect will be occur in a particular solar cell. That time what happen, it starts generating more current. Because of this crack there will be a mismatch in the voltage or current that will affect the generating more heat. So this crack can be detected using infrared imaging. See, in this picture you can see the IR image of this solar module. So now we can clearly see that this cell is defect because it producing the more heat than remaining all other module are maintaining the same heat. So that's why we can get to know about the there will be a defect in this module. So that is done by a IR imaging. There are so many type of IR camera we are getting, that is maybe some companies are manufacturing like FLIR camera we will get, then Fluke they are also making some IR camera. So many vendors are making different IR cameras. Then what will happen, see here in this image you can see there will be a this small rays you can see, like it is like a cracking. This is called a snail trails. This is also induce the defect in the module, and also you can see there will be a corrosion in this module. Then in this image you will see that some particle has hitted on this solar module. Either it may be a stone or anything, it is fell in this module. So this entire module will be damaged due to this stone. And also you can see there will be burning in the solar module. This is due to high infrared rays. Or also this may possible when we get older module, at that time we will get this kind of corrosion kind of effect. There will be a burning effect, that and all you can see. These are the some hotspot as well as the defects in the module. Now there will be a mismatch in the solar cells and solar arrays. How it will do the mismatch? One is because of shading. So what will happen when shading happen to particular solar cell, that started giving the less voltage compared to nearest module. Suppose tree are started giving shadow on this module. So these two columns are completely inactive. Only two columns are giving the power. Suppose this complete panel is giving 36 volt, but because of this shading it is only able to produce 15 volt. So now we can see the mismatch in the solar cell or solar module. Okay, that time we have to get a balance. What will happen that time? If any shading will occur, that time this bypass diode will activate. So when rays will come here, then current will be generated. This current will take in this path. So in this case both the module will be started PID effective. PID is nothing but potential induced degradation, that is due to any shading or any. Here both the modules are deactivated due to the shading in the one module. You can clearly see the graph. See, when there will be clear sun, what is the PV curve you can see clear. When shading will occur, here there will be a mismatch. See, this is giving slightly higher power and after it will degraded. In this graph you can clearly see this how mismatch in the cell can be occurs. So basically there will be a mismatch in the solar cell that will leads to the mismatch in the module. Now we see the effect of temperature on the PV module. So if coating is not clearly done, that may be a problem. So sometime what will happen if manufacturing process is not clear, or due to time lapse it starts loses its potential, it starts losing its efficiency. That time it is difficult to absorb the light. So that will leads to the defect in the solar module. So that time we have to check the PV module, and we have to check PV data, how much power it is generated, and we have to analyze the data, how much module it is producing. Then we have to claim for the warranty at this case. Next we will see the thermal stress. What is, there are so many kind of stress. That is because of, one is, if we are manufacturing module, suppose the solar cell and all the back sheets are tightly bounded, then that will leads to the stress. So due to that stress, there may be chances of cracking in the cell. If we get more number of heat on this stressed solar panel, that will produce this kind of ring effect. This is due to thermal stress. Okay, there will be, you can see the snail trails on the solar panel. These and all due to thermal stress. So that's why while manufacturing the module, we have to carefully observe each panel, whether mounting and all the aluminum frames are tightly with the standard bonded together or not. So if it fails, it will leads to the defect in the solar module. Here EL image particularly concentrating the defect in the solar cell, that is also micro defects that we can't see in a bare image. So how we will do the EL image? So what we will have to do, we have to take that module into very black surface or very black room. So it should not emit any kind of heat. Then what we will do, we will apply some amount of voltage to that module. Suppose I will have 36 voltage module, then I will put that 36 voltage to that module. Then what will happen, when voltage will apply, these photodiodes or this solar cell started emitting light, and these light are captured by the electroluminescence camera. These electroluminescence camera are designed such a way that it is matched with the emitted solar light from the this defective solar module. So when voltage is applied to the this solar module, it will illuminate the light. This is captured by EL camera. This type of image is called as a EL imaging. We seen all the methods. Just briefly, I am explaining what and all that thing. So IR image to check the hotspot, and EL image to check the micro cracks in the solar cell or small micro defects. And there will be another test, it is called bypass diode test. How much sustainability of this bypass diode, how much voltage can be it prevented, that is called as a bypass diode test. And another test is the insulation test, that is checking the insulation of the solar module, how much insulation can be done, that may be in several mega ohm. So that is another test which is called as insulation test for the solar module. Why this insulation test is required? Because suppose when light is falling on the module, it is generating the electricity, but it should not be like that. That electricity should not come on the this aluminium frame. So it is completely insulation. If somebody touches this aluminum frame, he should not get any shock. So that's why we are checking the insulation test of the module. What is the insulation at the cell and what is the insulation at the module? The difference between the cell and module should be around mega ohm. So if resistance is too high, there will be less chances of current passing through it. So in this case we seen the all the process and all the type of module and how to check the defects, what are the mismatch in the module, and how to place a module in the panel, and how to place solar array, how it will be designed, and what are the methods of checking defects in the PV model. That and all we have seen. Now in this lecture we almost complete all the basics of solar, starting from the solar cell manufacturing to solar module manufacturing, how it can be placed in the solar power plant, what are the solar array, what are the types of solar module, what are the types of solar cell, and what are the prevention we have to see, and what are the defects can be occur in the solar module, how to check these defects, everything we have seen in this course. We will see the how we can model all these things using Python programming. In next lecture, we will go in the basics of Python programming, why this Python programming are used in the analysis of the solar data. What is the use of Python programming in the solar, and what data analysis will occur? How I can see the mismatch in the solar module using the programming. That and all you can see by Python programming in photovoltaic modules. Thank you so much.